All right. This is your man, Sir Earl, coming at you. Today is Saturday, September 14th. Man, this year is flying past. I wanted to just invite everybody to join on my social media. I have several platforms. My LinkedIn is Sir Earl Bell, EarlBell. My Facebook is Earl Bell. Twitter is Sir Earl's World. My website is www.sirearlsworld.com. It's under construction right now, but I have a blog and everything on there, so it'll be up and running. It's running now, but the things that I'm going to do to it probably won't be done for another month or so. I have a Snapchat, Sir Earl 1. My YouTube channel is It's My World 1, IT apostrophe S my world. It's my world one. If you don't put in an apostrophe, you will not get it. My Instagram is Sir Earl One also. So join me on social media, one of those platforms. I do content every day. I update content every day on my social media platforms and once a week on my podcast. Okay, so today's podcast is it came to me. By the way, none of my podcasts they're not written down, they're not rehearsed, they're not any of that. It's just really instinctively I go by some of the things that may spark me to talk about a certain subject. So my podcast today concerns. I wasn't sure if I was going to name it "Old School Parents versus New School Parents" or "Your Badass Kids." Either one, take it the way you want it. It's probably going to offend a couple of people because people don't like when you talk about their kids. But I notice in this era, the disrespect that kids have towards authority figures, teachers, police, things like that is just astronomical. It's amazing because that was something that growing up we never ever ever would have thought of as disrespecting an adult or an authority figure. Nowadays, these kids don't respect anything, and I believe it's because of the parenting. When you're 18, your mother 38, your grandmother is 50, 55, whatever, and all y'all dressing up going to the club together. That sends a bad signal. Nowadays, I've noticed that a lot of parents they want to be their kids' friends. When I was coming up, and I'm 54, so anybody in that era above or below will understand. My parents would tell you I'm not your damn friend. Never don't want to be your friend. Never will be your friend. I'm your parent. I'm your mother. I'm your father. You used to also be told that, if I want you to have an opinion, I'll give it to you. You just didn't do certain things. You didn't, and you walk into the kitchen and your parents are talking, or one of your parents is talking, or both of them are talking to each other, or they're talking to a friend or a neighbor, and you just walk in and stand right there. 9 times out of 10, you will get slapped in the mouth and tell you to stay, and they will tell you to stay out of grown folks' business. Nowadays, you want to respect your kids. I heard the other day, and they said, I read it on Facebook actually. It said, I'm going to take my daughter shopping because she got really good grades and she made the honor roll. So I'm going to reward her with taking her shopping. I was told when I was a kid in school, your goddamn job is to go to school, don't get in trouble, and get good grades. That is your price of entry. That is your price to live in my home rent free and eat my food without paying for it. Nowadays, and these kids are getting reward for what they should be doing anyway. Sports, forget about it. They don't play sports anymore. They're stuck on these computers. 5 years old, you got a phone. And it just seems to me, I'm not saying that, I'm never trying to tell anybody how to raise their kids. But I've raised a few in my day, so I understand the struggles that come with it. Our kids now, my youngest is 24. They've successfully went to school, graduated, got great jobs, and are doing pretty well. And we're always asked, me and my fiance, Chiang, we're always asked, what did y'all do for y'all kids to be so different. That's not different. That's that's the way people were raised. It starts as a kid. You put your hand on something you ain't supposed to put your hand on, you get that hand smack. I had a friend and a trading partner tell me his son was 2 years old maybe at the time, and he tells me he's got such a temper. There's nothing I can do with him right now. And he's throwing tantrums and different things like that. And I'm like, if he's two now and you can't tell him anything, what are you going to do when he gets to 16, 18? He's going to be cursing you out and knocking you upside your head. Which, if you listen to a lot of younger people nowadays, they speak to their parents with so much disrespect, like it's their friend, and that's the hazard of raising your kids to believe y'all are friends. We're not fucking friends. I'm your parent. You do what I say. I will make up your mind for you until you can make up your mind for yourself with good decisions. If you're still doing dumb shit, I will make up your mind for you. I will tell you what you're gonna do. And that's how I was raised. And by the same token, these same parents that give their kids everything, don't give them chores, don't give them any responsibilities, money at when they want it, cell phones at 5 years old. These are the same parents that when it comes time for their child to leave and make an adult decision in life about which path they're going to walk in their life, they're the same parents that tell them, okay, well, you're going to go to college. And one of the things that I believe as kids, as you raise kids, is that you support what they do, but find out what's best for them. Some kids are college kids. I know my next youngest son he's at Northwestern, and I couldn't imagine him doing anything else. Some kids go to the military. That's what my nephew, he wound up going to the military. He tried going to school. He tried working. He tried a lot of different things. And once he went into the Navy, he changed 100%. And now he's a very, very respectable young man that knows what his future is. He's been across the world several times. And, that was a choice of, this is what works well for you, not what I think you should do, but it's your life. You have to live your life. So find out which is best. Here's a clue. If your child is getting C's and D's in high school, chances are they're not going to do very well in college, because that's just another level. If they're very undisciplined and their priorities are screwed up, which is generally how they are raised, with screwed up priorities, they will go to college and they will not work, but they will party. College is nothing but parties. And that's what will happen if their priorities are not straight. By the same token, you'll have some kids that, go to college and, study. Like my daughters, they partied with the best of them, but they knew your homework comes first. You do your homework, you do your studying, and they both graduated with honors. And yet they still enjoyed their college life. They still went out, they still hung out, drank, partied, hung with their friends, whatever. But it's a matter of priorities. It's what I tell a lot of young people that I work with. When you go to school, because I work with a lot of athletes as a trainer, when you go to school, first and foremost is your grades. Secondly is your family. Third is your extracurricular activities, if it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever. Those are the areas that get the attention first. Women, young men, boys, whatever you want to call them, they come at the bottom of the priority list. So that will allow you to still get good grades or decent grades, have a college life, stay close to your family, and get things done. It's just a matter of priority. No one's saying don't do it, because we all did it. But it's saying keep your priorities in order. There's so many times you are not taught what the proper priorities should be. So therefore you just, fun comes first. So, I'm out sometimes and I see kids that are in a grocery store and they're throwing tantrums, make me want to whoop their ass, and I ain't even their parents. But there used to be a time where you respected teachers. I look at these high schools now because I go and speak at a lot of them. You got to walk in with a metal detector. They got to have armed security. Kids are talking to teachers like, I will whoop your ass if you come from behind a desk. You don't tell me what to do. And it is just ridiculous because I know back when I was coming up, grammar school and high school, those teachers would whoop your ass. They would get they ruler or whatever it was, they leather strap, whatever it was that they disciplined you with, and they had permission to whoop your ass, and you didn't talk crazy to those teachers. Nowadays, if you want to, if you see a very very disrespectful kid, follow him home. I bet you he's got idiots as parents and they have never taught him. And nowadays, I have clients that are teachers, superintendents, things like that, principals. I had one client that called the young lady's mother and said, "Hey, your daughter about to get put out of school because she's in the school giving oral sex to guys." And they're like, "We can't have that." The mother cursed her out, threatened to come up there and bust her head and all types of stuff. She was a principal. This is high school. The thing that made her understand that this person was not just singling out your child, they had everything on videotapes. They have cameras everywhere. And the mother, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I apologize," or whatever. But that just shows what you think about teachers versus your child. I remember one time coming home with a bad grade, and I told my mother, the teachers just don't like me. After my mother slapped me across the face, she said, "There's 30 people in the class. Why would she single you out as the one that she don't like?" She's like, "What do you think? I'm stupid?" She said, "Oh, I would never take your side over what a teacher would say." And that's such a stark contrast to the way parents are today. And I think that's directly contributed to kids having kids. And in life, we want to always give our kids better or more than what we had. But better or more to me means a better head start, better educated, better smarts about what's really going on in life. Not a better video game or better vacations or, better computers. And they give these kids all these things, but when it comes to the discipline and the chores and the priorities and educating and teaching your kids, they lack on that. They figure, "Oh, well, my kid is okay." I receive the aftermath of how bad y'all raise these kids. They come in for a job and they don't want to work. They don't want to work. They want to know, how do I start in the CEO position because I'm special? Why? Because parents tell them they're special all the time. Here's a news alert to parents that do that dumb shit. Your child is only special to you. When they get out in the real world, they are not special to an employee, but yet they still have that attitude of, "I'm special. I'm not going to put in a lot of work. I deserve this. I deserve that." You don't deserve jack shit. I run into it all the time. I sit down with potential trainers or secretaries or retail, and they just feel that they're special. They should get something uh, other than what everybody else get. "Oh, I'm special. I should get special treatment." You shouldn't get jack shit, and a lot of them I will not hire because you're asking for headaches. If my son ever went into a job and felt like he was more special than the job that he did, I would knock his head off. That's just the way it is. And I tell myself, as an employer, I get these type of kids all the time, or young adults. I get them all the time. So in my closing, I would like to say, as a society, as a generation, we've got to do a better job of really, really teaching our kids how life really is and the things that they die. The reason that most kids fail when they run into challenges in life and you're taking care of them and they're 40 years old, you're still paying their damn bills, is because we don't let them go through the stages of struggle. We want to protect them from everything. And that's just not the way life is. Life is going to challenge you, and if you're not up for those challenges, you're going to fall by the wayside. So we need to have our kids prepared and ready when they step out into the real world. So let's start being better parents instead of parents that tell their kids that they're special and they deserve to be treated good and all those things, because it's just not true. All right, so until next week, this is your man, Sir Earl, signing out. And I welcome your comments. I will see you next week. I'll hear you. I'll talk to you next week. Peace. I'm out.